I believe the first one is All In, which takes place at Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. If you're not on the Eastern Seaboard, just figure out what time that is. It's 3 o'clock Eastern time. So that'll be during the day. I'll have my boy Coltrane come through, and we're gonna watch that. Shout out to Coltrane for hooking me up with that. Let's see what goes on here. First things first, they're gonna have two different casino gauntlet matches at All In. These are really hard to pick. Anytime they do a battle royale or a gauntlet or anything like that, these are really hard to pick because you're not really sure who's gonna be in them at the time. So these are really hard to predict. So I'm really throwing myself into the wolves right now. I'll say this: when it comes to the men's. When it comes to any of these, I really kind of base it off of who the current champion is right now. Currently, the women's champion is Toni Storm, but I'm almost certain that Mercedes Moné could take it at All In. They also have a match, and I'll talk about that later. I could easily see maybe like a Chris Statlander taking this. I think that's where my head is when it comes to this. I think Chris Statlander will be the one that kind of comes on top, and I think she could face Toni or Mercedes. So I think she's the best fit for that. When it comes to the men's one, that one gets a little tricky. Currently, Jon Moxley is the champ, but Hangman is going to fight him at All In a Texas Death Match. Again, that match could also go either way. If I'm looking to someone who could face either one of them that isn't on the card already, I mean, even someone like Nick Wayne is on the card still, so it's like not even like that. Like, but I really don't know, dude. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say it's Anthony Bowens. I really like Anthony Bowens, especially when they got him away from the Scissor Gang. I did not like Max at all. Well, I liked him at first, but then he started to get really annoying, especially on social media. He was really annoying. And so Anthony Bowens is going to be my pick for the men's just because I feel like he could really use a push, and I would like to see them push him. That's not guaranteed or anything. He may not even be in the match. Same thing with Chris Statlander. Neither of them might even be in the match, as far as I know, but we'll see how it turns out. My vote for these two is Chris Statlander and Anthony Bowens. The next match is Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. I will be fully transparent with you, and I'm not sure how this match came about. I'm not even sure how Adam Cole got the TNT Championship. I've been in and out of AEW for the last couple of weeks. So I'm not hip to how this has come about at all. Maybe this is a Collision thing. I do not watch Collision. I'd like to, but I would rather be doing things on my Saturday night. Respectfully. That being said, Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher, I would just kind of assume that Adam Cole retains this. There's definitely a world where Kyle Fletcher, I mean, I feel like they've been pushing him a lot. So there's definitely a world where Kyle Fletcher gets it. But I'm going to just take the safe route here and say that Adam Cole hangs on to it. The next match here is the Patriarchy versus Jet Speed versus the Hurt Syndicate in a 3-way tag team championship match. Again, I don't see Jet Speed doing much here. I think it'll be a really good match. This could easily be like a match of the night type of thing. I don't have the Patriarchy winning this at all. Jet Speed could be like an upset, but I think the Hurt Syndicate will most likely be the ones to take this here. So, whoops. We got All In. Did I move twice? I did move twice. All right. If you hear me typing, by the way, I am typing in my answers. So that way I have a whole spreadsheet of my predictions, and I keep track of these. So I will have a full-blown like wins and loss column thing going on at the end of the year and stuff like that. What did I pick? I picked the Hurt Syndicate. That is who I picked for that. All right. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. I'm easily giving this to Swerve and Ospreay. I really like both Swerve and Ospreay right now. I think Will Ospreay is probably my favorite wrestler right now. Again, begrudgingly not watching a lot of AEW, but I'm getting back into it, especially after this pay-per-view. Yeah, I think Strickland and Ospreay got this. This isn't for a title or anything. This is just them fighting. I believe there's some sort of stipulation with this. Yes, if Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the World Championship for a year. And if the Young Bucks lose, they will be stripped of their EVP status. I could easily see a world where the Young Bucks get stripped of their EVP status, quote unquote. Storyline purposes, they probably will still remain EVPs, even though that's probably just a honorary title, at least at the most at this point. I know they helped create the company and everything, but I don't think they'll actually be stripped of their thing, is what I'm trying to say there. The next one is Okada versus Omega for 2 championships that they're going to unify. The AEW Continental Champion, that's the title that they fight for the Continental Classic. One of my favorite times of the year, by the way. They've only done it twice, but it's been really fun to watch. And then the AEW International Champion, that was previously the All Atlantic Championship. Orange Cassidy held it for a long time. And yeah, they're going to unify that. The belt is going to look like this. And they've already announced this. This is the look at it. But yeah, I'm excited to see this match. I think this will be a really good match. I know they've had like a history. If I'm the person betting on this, I feel like I'm betting on Okada, to be honest. I know Omega's the guy and everything, but it's just like I feel like it's almost like he's on a halfway retirement run at this point. I know he just came back from injury and everything like that, but I honestly think he's not really doing a whole lot, especially in the main card picture. I know this isn't main card, but I'm taking Okada on that. That's the title again. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's World Championship. I'm honestly taking Mercedes on this one for the simple aspect that I think they're really giving her a lot of belts and they really like her. But I think Toni is almost bigger than the title right now in the company. Maybe not in wrestling, but as far as the company goes, I feel like she is easily one of the best characters in the company. I don't think she needs that championship to be the best character, to be the best in the division right now. I don't think Mercedes necessarily needs that either, but she's already the current TBS champion. And giving her, and I think she'd be the first person to have both in the company, would be really sick. And I think they like her a lot, and I like her more now than I did as Sasha Banks. I never hated Sasha Banks or anything. I just didn't really see a huge appeal on her. But I think Mercedes now is a lot better. So I'm gonna give this to Mercedes. This will most likely be the match of the night, if I'm being honest. That's probably a cliche pick because it is the World Championship and it is a Texas Death Match, which, if you know anything about Hangman and Texas Death Match, him and Swerve had a banger a year or so ago. And that was amazing. Jon Moxley is also a bleeder. So this is really going to go crazy. Probably going to be one of the most gruesome matches we've ever seen, to be honest. Maybe even topping him and Swerve that one time. With that being said, I don't think Hangman's going to get this. I think they're going to keep this on Moxley. I kind of at first thought they might give it to Hangman, but I mean, at this rate, I feel like I feel like Moxley's the guy right now. Still, I'm not necessarily understanding why. I love John Moxley. I just don't see why he is the guy right now when they could be pushing, again, like an Anthony Bowens, or whenever Darby Allin gets back, they never put the world title on him. Anybody in that potential could be there, and they still have John Moxley there when he was like the second or third champion or something like that. So I still think it's going to be Moxley. I would love to be wrong, but as of right now, that's kind of where I'm seeing it at.